Hello to all fans of Naruto Lemon. I will post all Naruto Lemon Yaoi, Yuri, or Naruto Lemon stories only on the Boosty channel because Uncle YouTube condemns this. Therefore, I invite everyone who wants Naruto Lemon content to my Boosty channel. Good luck.
お前はどこまで見えている俺の死に様か
October 10th. As a result, not Minato Namake's Kushin Uzumaki should be born twins. Minato stand next to his wife with one hand held the seal when the other held his wife by the hand after 3 hours. The cry of children was heard. What Minato and Kushina were infinitely glad. I congratulate you twins. Times reported bivouac can be held with notes and patience, said Minato. Puag this Naruto Siamin applied after minutes she took people and said laminate. Close the seal. He began this boring as a result process, but then out of nowhere. A man masks with a silly drawing appeared and taking advantage of the opportunity to raise fear in the eyes of enemies you will kill inside the body of. Minato, but not expecting such a turn of events, did not notice how the child of that was whistled. He madman masks presented kunai tiny neck of the child and said this grandfather of the woman Gel he will die. Calm down, put away the kunai Atari. Altogether, father said man masks, I will leave the child up and the parcel on, and so that the baby fell right on him. Natural over managed to catch the child eye, but the hissing of the outgoing about the country, I did not please him further with the help of the technique of the flying benefit of the huge moved in the barn, but was not filmed. The child simply did not throw them out, and myself, I will leave this at the numbers further. Everything was like on the eve until the moment of sealing. Minato took the jug from and by the way space to be surprised found himself near the forest in a crowd used Kung Fusan adamantine for printing type by someone in the name of Kippia. Minato at this time called Atari and put on it people used printing style of a whirlpool. 8 trigrams so and was sealed cyber. This is on Minato and Kushina. You were divided into some changes in hair color became specifically golden black and eye kohl and for a second the eyes became bestial. Minato and Kushina thought that the telomere for captured you did not frighten for yourself, not replacement man, and according to all the rules of the canon decided to give him to the shelter. Minato moved shelter. He did not leave the old picture that note him and me and disappeared. Thunderclaps 4 years later, October 10th, 9 o'clock in the evening. A boy of 4 years old was walking along the street. He had hair the color of coal on crazy nights with flashes of dimness at the white light. His eyes were on the plan on meaning not broth. Looking at them you seem to pay a bottomless pit of black torn shinobi sandals, black shorts with several tracks, gray shabby t-shirts with a sign at our how are you on the shoulder. Today was a holiday, great holiday, victory day over Baki birds to us. From Japanese Lee Demon and Son's birthday, and give McConaughey data exchange end. But his people and on this day of birth, but hated that day with all his soul. Since it was on this fateful day for him and he got the most from the donkey Nikonov, I found our hero home on Gallic home. It is difficult to call serfs. Here was broken bed tube, which even has no door, wardrobe without one in the world, from smart shelves, it has no hot water and mirrors. Andraka wine one. Peter walked for 13 minutes, and now his house was left at hand, but not fate. In the alley ran into 3 stone chiddens, and one Johnny on the first to notice him. Jane in and called his teammates, and began guard. Look who is wandering. This is the same on winter Nike, and the third we will show emotions main. Let me down and run up. People did not hit the same like that. The last one flew off, hit the wall, and slid down it. Then they started to knock him down, take it out of proportion, so as not to kill with feet. Hands worry on legs, hands on the back at one point, critical hit. People legs, keys in the head, and hit the temple, and people passed out. Subconsciously woke up in the market in some nasty place like sewer. Everywhere there were pipes and tunnels, water, which were knee-deep on. This felt that somewhere ahead there is or lives a strong cloud of negative energy, and by fear decided to go for it. Not that they show for 20 minutes, and in the end he saw a huge room with a gigantic size golden cage, and curiosity made her come closer to the cage, and when he was about 22 meters from the cage, did not open 2 huge blood-red eyes vertically Elongated pupil here, we are the jailer arrived attached a low voice hello and act well. Asked without a bit of fear to the world there and the equipment mine to the strongest biju and you. __, are not afraid of me they were waiting roared in a package prices and sorry on a string. Bisan and I'm not afraid of you answered his people in a calm voice about you eyes. Widened from such an appeal and for the first time someone addressed him with an attachment but what do you want? Despicable mortals sorry he forgot to introduce himself I'm not happy. Uzumaki, and by the way I don't know what I'm doing here and how he appeared here would have distinguished what prices of the kind happy son and can you know the name because it enlightens you most likely fasten such a turn flew in to conquer the expanses of prostration when consciousness returned he thought everyone answered we smoke my name is thank you Kurama country and we can be friends then the analysis was already wanted to fly again we are fuel in the form of surprise was not enough so this time he wrote a little faster and here you go on and over and without suffixes with joy Karaman. Said Naruto in a joyful voice at the end of the entertaining hangs the truth 2 people came out and 1 were brown. Hair must white bandanas and he was dressed in a white kimono 6 magicians there are. Collars on and 2 the same hair was long and the same color around the eyes there were blue marks I was dressed he was in. White kimono with a high collar on which to put the magician their hello to the world. There I am a bitch and there they play Ootsutsuki we are the children of the sage 6. Paths or Rakudo Sanin and whoever is more convenient and you are our reincarnations. Monotonously slowly spoke 2 people and now Indra hello Inter son. Ageisen and you can become my sensei hopes brought out Naruto of course. People that's why we are here in principle and are all about the prosecutor's office sucker so. The world is melting it's time for you to wake up and to be precise to come to consciousness you're in the hospital in an irritated voice hissed big. I'd well and how can I do this to myself on what just leave through the place where you came conscience through these catacombs not. Slyly smiling explained tailed thank you too and said Naruto and left. The world from woke up and realized that he was not lied to and he really is in the hospital my awakening the doctor came into the ward. And began his verbally spewing her these just sit and be gray fox March 3rd. Ignored insult western he quickly got dressed and flew out of the hospital like a bullet yes go to any abandoned riveted sharply sounded head voices. Shanghai also thought answered Naruto Polygon 17, 10 a.m. I ran what? Do you order to do next ANB powder wiped Naruto network's comfortable position and try to feel chakra imagine blue flame which belly spreads throughout your body. Gave clear instructions Indra Nerda sat like that for about 40 minutes and then read. Did not feel that are well done and now try in the subconscious and your rank Narda sat in the lotus position and after a while fell into the subconscious so the world is tear off a piece from the seal of Kurama. I ordered them drunk hair essence and Barenka answer the second sensei of the people but after a couple of seconds the joy was replaced by bewilderment and how can I get their seals of a cleaver in a boy this and in the subconscious you only need to want soon on the date began to rise water he took the seal by the edge tore off a little this is a bag we asked the boy Indra people approached. Andrea Shirayan first Indra folded several seals touched on Naruto and such a volume of information on this very much the head hurt and for some reason the eyes. After Yandera the same manipulations produced a scar 2 feeds people and could not stand it and turned off the shadows Boolean on the training ground and people woke up after 2.5 hours the outcome forgot why nothing hurts me. Because in the subconscious there is a basement they dug up but with this Kurama helped you by the way about honey let's look at our reflections with. A little intrigue and whispered Indra March approached the river was very surprised because his eyes were burning. Sharingan with 2 Tomoya hydroelectric power station where did I get the Sharingan because I didn't. Sneeze with a little thoughtfulness and surprise asked Naruto on the rhythm this is I. Gave you my power and also like a sheriff proudly sentenced Indra well thank you Anderson say HR Sakai Growth. Jean is here it's time for Naruto to start training and enthusiastically began Ashran. Okay what should I do let's about and run 5 laps around the training ground then 25 push-ups 30 on the press 40. Squats 10 pull-ups and so 2 approaches, then when it's over physical exercises network in the lotus position and start horse chakra on the channel's voice. Today's training plan 1 Sensei X and our sensei. Naruto began to do the exercises. The first approach, he went normally, but on the second, he began to choke already. On the third lap, after the fifth lap, he fell to the ground, rest 10 minutes and continued the exercises. After physical exercises, all the taste of the lotus, and began to drive chakra on the chakra channels. The given lesson, he spent 3 hours. Well done Naruto. Each week, we will increase the duration of the run over in the district. Push-ups, press squats, pull-ups 5 times. Good USA. Sakai in a tired voice, whispered the student. And now quickly home. Little one mockingly ordered them. Bad haircuts, mustache chakra. Okay Rai Rug sarcastically responded Naruto. And went home, and at home in 20 minutes. On this was you, this May will come. Oh my world, this. Took a cold shower and then went to brew a novel, ate and went to bed. Here grows and what day, and now a new day has come. Sleep, and Naruto did not want, began to hide. I went to the bathroom to take a cold invigorating tailish after brewed himself a novel. Having breakfast, one stand did not run strange. She on the training ground and in here. The guides well fed ran to the training ground. After a short warm-up, he began the main physical training, and this is 5 circles around the training ground, 25 push-ups, 30 on the press, 40 squats, 10 pull-ups. Found is suitable. After the first such approach, he rested 20 minutes, after which he went to 2 is suitable. This time, by the way, it was much easier than yesterday. At the end of the second approach, everyone in the lotus position and began, of course, the edge. Well, what about people? And I will tell you, you will need to learn to be kidnapped. Does not roll, began the second sensei. Mr. Addressing, but where will I get a kunai and Sarajin? And but a logical question. Student unified polygon collecting and irritated voice grumbled. Kurama understood, snorted, accepted, but how can I learn to spend? Through the subconscious you will fall here. Come with the help of Sharingan copies our movement techniques to lead a loser. So exactly, and when I will study various techniques? Asked a long-standing question. For a start, you must develop your body on the physical plane, then you will hear control of the chakra, and then only having studied techniques. Disappointed student 2 Sun, and understandably sadly sighed. People not in the best mood. World. This began to look for Kuna on the air of the movie on the 17th polygon, and after an indefinite period here he found 10 suitable this training shurikens and 8 kunai. Then he ran to look in other polygons. In total found 43 river on and 28 kunai. Coming home he took a cold longer, brewed a novel, ate, and then went to bed. The next day he took with him 10 hands on V5 kunai. Repeated his daily complex of physical exercises, and after meditation went to a tree and cut out targets on it and began to throw river on. The first attempt was unsuccessful, hit only once, and also milk 2. And Miss Hanya Daria Kino Kaniva kunai hit the targets. People decided to ask their sensei of indoor sun and HSS advice, and how to properly techniques on IQ Uno. I am not on the solution song. Predator. All the nuances and subtleties of this case, people grabbed everything on summer. I was caught next time by the river S and 70. And where to have 4 out of January 5th, the balls were pleasantly surprised by the boy's progress, and they praised him. After an hour of training methane iron, they allow the subconscious as a donor. It appeared in the subconscious. They told him right away, now your training will begin to meet, we will show you the techniques, and you will be turned on the Sharingan. Repeat after us. But the training of the peoples of the tradition of Ibuki face began in a month 17 training ground, and so people, and from this day you will begin to improve chakra control. The first task to climb a tree without rock set. A goal for the boy Indra on high, because along with very much loved you read especially about the crafts of shinobi, he knew how to do it. He leads the chakras in the legs, and began these losses in 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. Failure on the 5th attempt he was able to go to him. Juice of the tree inspired by the first victory. The monster these attempts climbed a decently high tree. Well done, people. Now stickers and try to walk on water, too. The following instructions. 1 Sun and understood our son and ran to the river, undressed to his underwear and tried to stand on Padova. He succeeded in the night from 4 seconds on the floor in cold water, after which he began again from easy and more difficult. That is, first just hold on and then we go somewhere along The way from 15 to him it was possible to take 20 steps from 35 it was already possible to stand and walk calmly after such a productive workout. He went home, had dinner, after which fell asleep the next day, and long live a new day. And here, Naruto woke up and according to tradition from her habits, he took an invigorating shower. Brute a pyromaniac to eat was born, did not go on the road, he come to Dima. Hid in the bushes, and began to wait for the students with their sensei to come out for practice, and made about an hour and a half, after which he saw the first students. After a few minutes all the students extensa, and were already on parrying. People began to observe their training. I realized that he had already surpassed their traditions is approaching, and when it came to techniques he from surfing to began to observe as attentively as possible. After 2 hours the practice ended, and all the practitioners entered the building, and Naruto ran to the 17th training ground to train techniques of replacements in illusory clones. In order to learn how to use Hangul spent 20 minutes. Replacement studied 45, and when he wanted to start training the technique of illusory clones he made a grumble, turn the clan, and this is a useless technique in battle. It is better to go into the subconscious. I will show you a bullet useful and effective technique. And now it sat in the lotus position and appeared in the subconscious. Well, let's show your technique of massage bark cross-shaped seal. I explained how to create correctly clones. After the explanation Naruto came out of the subconscious and began to try to create clones of chakra. On this he spent a lot to watch 5 normally working clans. After that his subconscious again called Karama. Naruto came calling the subconscious and Kurama began. It is necessary now I will explain to you the pros and cons of this technique. Pros: this is also so it is material and can inflict any damage on the opponent. With clones it is easier to learn in any form except physical, because after as his ignorance of clones is transmitted to the original. Cons: the technique is forbidden because it takes a lot of chakra, and after spilling, in addition to knowledge fatigue is transmitted. But since you are Uzumaki, you are a large reserve of chakra and a high level of endurance in general for you. It is not particularly scary. I understood, Karaman. Thank you, people said, and came out of the subconscious. On the training ground Naruto continued to train in creating clones until the end of the day. As a result of the world, then he was able to create 36 clans. Closer to 9 in the evening he went home to know this is home. He took a cold shower, ate, and as soon as he went to bed instant again the next day, and long live the new deeds. Our hero woke up again at 7 o'clock, became from the bed, after which went to the bath and did all the procedures said. Novel 8, got dressed and heard Shaggy schizophrenia, small go by chakra conductive leaves, and then 2 polygons. Yes, understood. I only Unaria moaned for headache. Subject in this excellent feature went out, closed the door behind him, and ran the nearest store. Deprived being here on the same comes to the store and remembers one unpleasant news to him. Everywhere ends prices in 2 or even 3 times. Because of this, he before, as a politician of the store, went around the corner. Used Sagi turning into a 15-year-old guy about 174 centimeters tall. Thin build, demolished black hair after reincarnation, but it came out from around the corner and went in, and the shop came up and the sellers asked, hello, can I have 5 chakra stray leaves? Yes, of course, with a spoke 3. The seller smiled amiably, but it took out the specified amount from the wallet toys, after which the hellish seller, thank you, have a nice day, although it will come gives thank you to you too. It was heard to him in response, but it came out of the shop went in pledge forks ng. After he went to his favorite 17th polygon. He reached the polygon in 5 minutes. Go to the polygon, steal physical exercises. After heard Kurama Mayor, then you don't know how to use these sheets? Yes, I know how to use them in the book I read with some pride for myself, answered Naruto, but when I start Nerda clamped 5 chakra conductive sheets between my fingers and gave them chakrak. 1 crumpled and the second burned. 3 at first on, could about it rotted, and after from it generally began to grow. Growth 4 was cut in half. With the 5th nothing happened. What I understood now, in truth, all those poems, and Jankoi 1, clarified Naruto. Yes, sure. Right, you really are a genius. Enthusiastically about babble from now. I need these teachers in the elements of March. I can show memories 1 so that you can learn poems. Tree ceiling look Where I understood, thank you, people began to do physical exercises after he finished war in the lotus position, went into the subconscious, began dialogue, do not fight with, and our son, and of a what poems. Will you teach me? Hello, I will teach, and on which you told the elders I photo. But he continued the younger ones well, and when can we start training for yours? The question that interests him. Naruto, let's first, I will teach you a couple of techniques, then on, since the photo, it is more difficult to master, suggested the big-eyed sensei. I understood. Well, if you are ready, then let's start training year, and this having activated Sharingan, asked Indra. People are active Hongan, otherwise, it is observed by movements. One station of the boarding school say the following: seals, snake, sheep, monkey, pig, horse. Game with which a fireball from his mouth, a ball of 3 by 3 meters, is cooked. On this, I will copy this technique, and therefore say seals, and also shouted cotton fireball, and answer. Then also flew out a ball of only 1 meter. Well done. But this is not good enough. On sensei, try to become clones about the author technique until he finds, and then we do. I will show you something else. He with a smile Silo de Tra babbled games, and Mirda created a dozen vans, and began to train the technique with her. Torment lasted about 2 hours. Let Indra showed him the technique, which big anger winter. He was 10 by 10 meters. People started to study this technique. On this technique he spent 4 hours and was able to act 8 by 8 meters of the ball. Let him come out with the subconscious. Went home while he was walking on the video on one of the training grounds. The person training then he did not allow to watch his training. This man looked like this: ash hair, mask on. The finger on the bandana of Konoha covered the left eye. Then the Jonin he used a strange technique. He collected chakra lightning in his hand and bijana mannequins and carried chips, and people decided to ask him an article with his. Nerda approached the man, said, we have once Tatiana, what kind of plant? Hello, before I ask the same name, even introduce myself, and so my name is Kakashimi, people can become my teacher. In the verse we can ask Naruto from they could this, no, I will show that you can do. I will think about it, answered Kakashi. Naruto began to say seals, and gave out a fireball 3 by 3 meters and like H1 visible. I expanded from this. Okay people, on behalf of surprised, I will become your teacher, and by the way, how much now? From 4 years, answered Naruto. A little. All the fur ocean about Kushina and Minato. A year after the attack, keep 2 girls were born from, named on the hand, on the other Mika, Amina. Arrogant, I am friends only with the children of the heads of clans. Bullies not everyone threatens, only with his father. And arrogant, this is already only with personnel. Children, I think that everyone threatens with his father. Amiki, and not arrogant, keeps in the family, not a cook, considers a guide them after 2 years. During this time you will train, and trained not only Britain on his tone and Svetonia. Now he knows the techniques of right ton 4 Raikiri, I plus from lightning ball. Lightning electromagnetic murder of lightning keys like 44 Sanborn electric charge. Conduct chakras Munich Re, I am loading the date, he is a wall of mud, she is beautiful clone shooting mud and 1 dragon. Stone Beijing Earth Dragon stone bullet is full of 1000 deadly water and Galuade slope water prison water dragon and chair under and cutting stream. Raging waves of foot, he great breakthrough vacuum bullets cutting gust. Wind wave vacuum blade air push and conduct wind chakra through weapon cotton with 3 flames, ash cloud. Dragon flame fire dragon skull crushing phoenix flowers dragon song. Great about cinema destruction fireball, great heat, great fireball, and could. This on technique, giving trees 4 walls of his house would clone construction of houses would strangulation. Heavenly wood dragon wooden to hives technique, many shadow cloning replacement. Henge, and she also has 3 home on Chanan, and he also became very friendly soon, my Indra. Escher disappeared, this became more cold and reserved, and very well. Read 17. Polygon 8 o'clock in the evening did not activate the technique shooting mud and fire dragon on began to rest and ask a couple of questions to the frame. Nerda went down in the subconscious, immediately asked it to the frame, and you know to my parents before we ask, but I'm not sure if it's worth telling you about this. Tell me, I want to know about food dream. You will not take the path of revenge, I promise, said Naruto. I this minute us to the cycle. What kind of Make answered him to you, he and glad tears flowed from his eyes, and he said I will show who was not lost of course you will show, and I will help you with this, you are burning and wiped away tears, said thank you for always supporting me. People left with the subconscious went home the next morning. I got as usual 6. Went to do today procedures. I had breakfast and went to the third Hokage on the village of cameras from treated normally. Only 6 people Kakashi Sampaio 1000 Son Oyama, Akira-san librarian, and Sam-san not 3 quietly as I. In 40 minutes approached the house 3 knocked on the door to him opened the door, Sam 3rd, hello people's deputy, let's go through this place. 3rd for wait in the living room, lights started a conversation, and did you come to me just like that, or did you want something 3 Sam I would like to work. You're personal from the NBA league, Narita, I of course know that you are still quite strong for your age, but I think it's too early for you, let's go straight away with someone from your squad, if I choose this, you accept me, and if I lose, then no okay. Persuaded today, at the 7th training ground, at 4 o'clock backgammon, before going out looked at the wall clock, and there was 7:40, he left the house 3, and went to 17 Polyakova. Well all of us, you are chained, but this came to the training ground in 25 minutes started with a warm-up. And then ran around the training ground 50 times did 160 push-ups, 180 on the press 250. Squats 110 stretching everything in the lotus position and became hot blood for all this training spent 6 hours. But he himself went to eat and change clothes at home, but this came home welded himself frames on, slowly ate. Changed clothes and left the house 7 polygon people came before everyone else in 10. Minutes began to pull up and others came first, Hiruzen, you are not about profit, Raven Alaskan, and so all the dispute, I said. Heroes, and on why those continued on this, and be patient against uranium and the board will be the judge, well said people here people. Are standing on against Iran, 2 shouted scan, people remained in place with a tone traitor. Exo-rival Raven decided to deal with the people as quickly as possible and on repeat on what was his surprise. Somehow did not irritate all his blows, not particularly straining on after a few minutes people got tired of it and he jumped away from the Raven and shouted, Keaton big nice of the ball, and yawn, let's fly, burst, the ball 15 on. 15 meters, this is what I didn't expect from him so his leg for business, and there was a small burn after this furnace circulation Ingen, not now, Naruto began to miss many blows, here, the Raven hits him in the face, and people fly back 3 meters after gets up and also activating the Sharingan and now straight with you on his country after a series of blows they both jumped up from each other, I didn't shout how he is holy and the phoenix. All turn got 4 Seregina 21 in the body 1 hands, and people 1. Many he Raven fell on 1 knee, she at maximum speed ran up to the Raven and put fists, yours, I. Was all surprised that he could do equal and fight with the Raven, but even more when Naruto activate Hingen, the winner. Naruto Uzumaki announced to caress as the mayor it got the rivers on his leg and gave his hand to the city, and said good fight I agree, and where did you get the fly from people? Asked 3 to myself I don't know said Naruto don't test anything single emotion well okay. Believe you at your word so I gave in yes, it was you who gave in carryover answer his headquarters so that they would give him a uniform weapons Moscow, and at the feast a tattoo he will be with you in the same squad X and let's go Naruto. Naruto nodded and no put forward from above them in ways so that it would be faster, I haven't run yet asked for this, and say with my own, to which they replied I'm my Uchiha. Said you too and to her Itachi Uchiha at the same time to get acquainted me too. After 20 minutes, they were already headquarters where people first got a tattoo of a personal squad NBA 3 on the shoulder, after which in this reformed Tonto in the end, he chose the mask Lee-san, after that he went home laid out another closet Tonto put it near the bed took a cold shower and welded the frames on 8 and lay down in bed and thought. Now I can buy myself new furniture clothes and normal food, this was called the subconscious is necessary since you being Uzumaki, my Jinchuriki, you simply must know few in Jutsu, however, we have passed the 3rd Strika can know. These which will be able to teach Henderson here, is excellent calmer nights calmly, and after this people again the next morning I woke up as usual 6 o'clock in the morning. Did today the procedure. I had breakfast and then he heard a knock at the door. Quickly was born in household things and went to open the door. I am behind the door. He saw a thief on rice, causes tarpaulin itself say that in 5 minutes, he said people and ran to get dressed. Foreman would in 5 minutes at Anna Voronova say stood on this knees in front of 3 mu and decided this title to your team and it will be such. We are the team of the street and there are hearts itself. Agreed Antoine. I have a mission from the ring for you to accompany, and the daimyo, then his estate's caresses and the captain of this mission. When we move out hard as a man asked the monitor lizard in 2 hours at the main gate X and the Englishniks agreed. And after what else? Committed and found you behind the main gate. Raven let's go. I came up with a scheme by which we will move said Fox was not interested. Tell me you put on your usual format. Will not go next to San Damiano. I will follow you through the trees and the daimyo himself. Application talk about the plan. Bad agree with Raven. Okay see you in 2 hours at this place said Forrest. Ran along the roof side 17 polygon in 2 hours. Did not meet near the main gate. You reminded the plan. Began to wait until they kill. When they did not move away from Konoha 400 meters out of sight. For the session, they had been walking for 3 days. At this time, they were attacked by robbers, with whom they corrected themselves, but the last day of the journey, they were attacked by 2401A8 and ranked N16, with ranked. This is what made itself, to me 3CHISU and 3A and 51 ranked filled with. The domain itself on the road blocked him. Was in a rice mask, caught his hand with a kunai, and with one movement of the most eye after with his right hand he grabbed the tonto from behind his back and cut off Alistair Thanos's head. Took the place at maximum speed and began to chop left and right on the genin. After this bloody mess, the wheels approached Itachi and Shursui. And you, like a fox, asked 6, but it's okay, I didn't really like it but I understood and according to mine or them I do it. You don't really strain myself and because of this I use the method on the genin. They are companions of the killers. Thanks for the support of the guys. So the conversation joined with ND. Why you? And you don't pray for such work. We don't want it. She's not weak as you can see. Okay, we rested. Make excuses. RT, tell me yours. I'll walk next to you because if I stayed with us I could die. Okay, we're moving out, he said at home and they went to swim. At the end of the day they came to Sandomir's estate. He invited them. They started but didn't refuse and headed back to Konoha and didn't make it back in 2 days. With this halt when they returned, they immediately headed to the third. Here they are standing on one colleague in front. Kerosene. Well, how did the mission go? The first 3 days we only came across bandits. We coped with them even without the forest. On the 4th day we were attacked by 24 on Kigen, of which 8 orange and 16 rank. I killed 8 of which 3A and 5 rank. Itachi 5 of which second 30 rank. With the rest coped. Rice said in MMDC March. Congratulations on the first completed mission. To put money for the mission everyone came up. Saw in the envelope Sagami Misa trying to pee for itself. Of course you can. I give you 3 days of rest, but this said goodbye to everyone after which he went home. He opened the envelope and there was 1,300,000 UAH. He took a cold shower, brewed a novel, ate and lay down on the bed, after which immediately pine. After a year and a half in these year and a half, Rice learned the technique of the flying thunder while and even a little luck Luoyang. Now he can move without marks but only to the place that he leads and began to learn to say the seal with one hand. Total weights from 400 kilograms 120 on the legs and 80 on the hands. Completed 43 missions from rank 58A 14 UAH during this time on. Good friends dragged learned at you. Now he stands on one knee in front of here for us through not itself carry sweat. Successfully completed. Well done. Tears. Here is the reward through in fact not free. Confirm people. And I have bad news for you. And what in 6 months you will be in the academy. Why don't you anger her? So much stronger than most tannins, and so I will simply lose 5 years. But this is not my decision and at all the time Hijstifler Sinbo if you will not be in the academy so you will be given in smoking and I do not want this crap myself and I will work you the way 6 months to thank. Rice said, after which you are looking for dinner. We're ready. We're black hair with white tips hairstyle like -9 movie. Pigmentation under eyes like Indra mask, like killed black sweater black. That ours but without business rent on left thigh iron gloves, insert black sandals tire PMS and protection at 17. Polygons like with raised bandage, stands on opposite Naruto, and so they ran so. On the other first hit people and hit on the ribs as hit in response number, it put block then hit in the head on. As still returned and hit in response and hit because more people and tried to hit in response, the main blow was blocked, and then he will try to hit again, but terribly gay and on the shelf thigh. As even from this full one knee entered lowered his fist in the face, and I won. Like HSM pa and mother from the people, let's go barbecue and that is I want to said. How is she not against agreed Naruto, they got together and went to the best practices in Konoha, and when they came to Beijing, they ordered food for themselves and Kakashi began to look for someone familiar, so he saw this Chan decided to come talk backgammon while you sharpen steed maybe. We'll talk with this suggested how H&M let's march how else got up from the table and went to the table where sat and Tatch, but to be true having come to the table did not see that. It was almost one and family Kakashi-san and what fate so after training. Decided to have a snack said Kakashi yeah and then how senpai how is it week? To spend the night today and you decided so asked these tasks Kaka-san just I lost to him. To become use Ringa on said how HR what kind of power eyes smile did not put a hand on whom everyone was very surprised after all Kakashi is there not on the magician lost the child and really you. You are starting to give up your positions Kakashi-san we have Itachi back Kakashi pretended to turn away and pretended to be offended everyone except the people and Fugaku laughed at this situation boy and how do you get turned on asked mom and daughter my name is People Uzumaki and mom is a miracle. Roll up imagine how she heard you don't have to introduce yourself Mika the son and how do you know asking what Fugaku-san is first of all his Waganachi-ha. Secondly, I know him well, task Makoto remembered that Kushina and Minato wanted to name their firstborn the same name. And decided to ask Nora so he how old are you, and who are your parents? Mission's parents I am not there he gathered people it is clear said Mikva then I can be friends like that he asked Sasuke let's have some tea nipples and this is the number. The order has already been brought and so he said goodbye to the porridge focus on me to the sun. This is for hours while Chan's nipples said goodbye to the people on the camera such she said 7 their goodbye said. Goodbye like shorts Kakashi sat down at their table and ate and went to their home 6 months later, the world you woke up at 6 a.m. He did today procedure had breakfast. Dillies and from bring them home 3 here before the 3rd on 1 knee stay man masks forests near today you stop. Fix me Yiddish to the academy on H&R this is just don't kill anyone at home she is cursin. Herself I can put myself equipment Moscow of course you deserve. Remind me what time does it start for winter in an hour, there will be a speech like an ocean thank you. Goodbye here is a man pack people of the outfit still rustling, this appeared near. The academy an hour and a half later sat on a tree and waited until they start to announce who is in what class, but he heard for make people on this jumped from the tree and went to the teacher just a couple more minutes. And they went to the classroom number and 103rd people walked behind everyone and I think in my audience on this took a seat on the last desk about the corner of the window. Hello children my name is Yumino Irika. You can call me Irika sensei I am your teacher for the next 5 years I love a novel. I love traders and my goal is to make you an excellent shinobi na a dream to become the rector of the academy and now I will be erected on the list you will introduce yourself as Yon did people this is Soap and is Sasuke Uchiha my name is Sketch and Han I love family to train with my brother I don't like arrogant and traitors my dream is to become a good Kim and we are clan men Manami and my name is Melman Amikasen I am the son of the 4th Hokage on 4. Weaving we and training with my father and up demon dream of becoming Hokage. Ergonomics of prices my name is not cancer for a moment from fur to the 4th Hokage on I love. Family to go shopping I hate time and dream of becoming the first female Hokage Mika Namikaze my name is Megan Century 4. I love family training I hate traitors and the dream of becoming a good kunoichi. Inertia make a skazal and hand with contempt in the classroom on this stood up and calmly walked up and stood next to His teachers, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, this is all you need to know the world this. Went to his place after the bell passed the table and went to the side of the people and said, and Tim and what are you showing off? I want to end up in the hospital Menma, don't be annoying and what and tried to hit the people it just caught his hand and the most with one easy movement. Menma's scream was heard throughout the academy, I warned you and you didn't. Listen to me Naruto, what have you done? Shouted to his hands, I warned him so that. They forced and hand took me in his arms and ran across the face, and the people left the classroom all classmates were in shock and because. It's not every day you see how something breaks a person here so if, but like the ocean rat in front and so he. Needs it I know to articles this bought himself a new 3-room house and a new beautiful beat. The next act but it woke up as usual the USA is made in one procedure for breakfast scrambled eggs bacon got dressed after. Which went to the 17th training ground conducted training and do not want a kindergarten appeared academy child the first 2 years we will only have a prison mowing went to the shaft everyone was unhappy except Naruto, he was 5 this my windows. Parties closed his eyes 10 minutes later the player noticed and decided to teach him a lesson took and threw chalk at him. But this without raising his head caught the chalk I'll throw it and hands in the protector and said Iruka-sensei. Don't disturb me better let me sleep, tell me about Jinya the river said hands. Jinchuriki, this is a person inside which is located ran prostate beast at the moment, they are one bija shop on. Haida greedy in Como 2 in tier 2 and in 2 and in such as at the radio, well now tell me. About Sid, whose hands 9-tailed one Jinchuriki you were the wife of the first OK Ocean and Himik Vazumaki from Mito Uzumaki. 3 Jinchuriki types put on 4x as I and the current Himik one Uzumaki Kushina Uzumaki. Now women rivers being I and by the way antennas theme academic program no America sun and well done and sobbing. Muscle sits down said through teeth hand Naruto sat down on the place for the head on the ports. Closed his eyes and after kindergarten went to 17 negotiations mistakes not mouth stood on. This knees before this here for itself and do you know anyone in the village to that get me function yes. I know a couple for make who can take you students can now go to him let's go Curson and people. Went to the village in 25 minutes, they arrived stuffiness that we home her knocked on the door and opened the man but. After all from 50 hello Artem, hello here zones then came wanted. Ask you to train this boy funded boy you how it turns me on my name is Na Uzumaki Naruto if this is for. Brands then I will take for your training we go through Costin, okay, I will come to you sometime lizard, and for now said goodbye Curson. After which he left, while on this went into the house, and very quickly entered the living room after. 30 seconds Artem approached him and so people so he in order to become a master fui 900 for a start you need to develop. We're fastened I said Artine I understood these son and said Naruto flashback on. The training ground and began training and when he sat in the lotus position and began to imitate him, someone called out. To this someone it seemed whose Narita 6 fought against Danzo and now calls us. One place faster ran and Naruto got up they ran to an hour I when they came running people saw very shabby. Your own hello people and hello sure sway what's with the eye. For this you and here people I lost my left eye published for now my attempt tried to kill and take away 3 class. You are the only one I can trust said that the light returned and returned the left eye and this is his people energy. Took I will seal the seal in my hand to redo something now and arrogant and. After my death something will change existing sure sway took a couple of steps closer. To said don't stop me if you are my friends and fell off the cliff he and. The mouse the choices class blood flowed I both appeared a lake it was Manjikyu Sharingan after death the 6th of March. Standing however outside more seriously several days he thought about what yours but didn't think of anything academician either. Sat and thought in his own or slept let's take off detained sun training didn't pass by the territory of Havana on him Pollock this is a bad feeling after all this is what haven't seen since the day he died 6 I am the mayor Trisha what will go they will look to this came a little further he on guard hit the smell of blood and he returned to the house of the head of the clan when he ran up helped us noticed lying unconscious Sasuke and next to her stood and Tatch on this forecast Chris neck and butt. The question and twitch what is happening here on the same there I hoped that you know about. This when I leave Konoha, they gave me the order to cut out after all your clan of the bottom and asked to leave alive at least. Sasuke, this thought about what he was talking about and even his own measure, they're on care, Sasuke. Please, I promise you thank you people, and where are you now I have one more task this, and for criminal organizations, Katsuki, I hope we'll meet again, of course this then, and shook his hand, then took Nipples in his arms ran hospital. The next morning Nipples woke up, when she remembered what happened yesterday, very much angry about this, that there was no ready drink right now, but then, tense did not come people, and began a dialogue, how are you? You feel okay with anger she said if you don't calm down now it will be much worse for you. Said people with activated Angelinka to us, where did you get such eyes asked. Nipples, I'm calming down this is a gift from this friend you know him, Kashasu, but how is this? Stranger horror and touch did not kill Shursui, before him he was like a brother anyway he is. A traitor does not talk about hooves and he only carried out a mission you are lying he is for. Klikhanov, he does it even right now, what did you take this because this is? Then my best friend I completely trust him he has never lied to me, and why should I believe you you can? Not believe me, but not allow yourself to buy this, who's as if you can stop me, I just have enough send you to Kinder and you will get to obey me in absolutely everything let's say you believed you that's great you should pretend as. If you hate this, cha, okay, if this is all, you can leave me alone, Poka Poka on Naruto, left the ward and headed to Kulikov after training he went to the hospital Nipples, and did anyone want to say hello to you hello? No that means you don't even know where you'll live you can stay with me for now I have 3 rooms in my house so maybe you don't worry about your personal space about the furniture I'll move yours okay with until I started calmly and March left the hospital and went to the quarter and whose went into the head's house and found someone's Nipples sealed all her things furniture and then went home to protect not Nipples. Oops Iris hospital I'm for a month, people went now their house. If anything who consists of Min Ma on hand Mikio Shikamaru Chodzeki would be with cream and on Nipples. And tires and Hinata and Naruto Roman 2 years over these 2 years, Naruto and Sasuke became very close friends and people began to train Ashin at the academy many girls envied her she sat for one part of Naruto many girls were in love the second half such as Sasuke. Sakura and others, PRC, to the people's opinion changed, was not even in love with him. The first day of practice, and this is me today our first practice day and now according to the x-ray they will take. Sergivka and I all ran outside everyone ran on chained and Naruto, and Sasuke walked on foot on the training ground hand we will explain without. To new children how to throw a river on and a kunai and everyone began to pass throwing Sergina Fu Kaniv channel 1 earring on 2 kiba in Izuka. For 10 5 out of 10 tire pairs 4 10 60 Ino. Yamanaka 60-70 sugar on 5 10 8 out of 10. Nor Economics January 8, 10 with that 80 Stranger Swords 60-60 Micromycosis 80. 9 out of 10 Shikamaru Nara 8780 Hinata Hyuga 8 10 9 out of 10. Sasuke Uchiha 9 10 9 out of 10 Minute Ma for a moment 1 9 10 10 10. Naruto Uzumaki Yan called hand people stood in front of the targets and took 4 kunai each. Each hand threw them and quickly took the 2 remaining ants and threw them after the first only stronger and they all simultaneously hit the center and their target and everyone was very surprised. Mert took 4 Sarajans in one hand in Torku and 5 Ki well and in the nets hit the bull's eye and he went to the place on the tree outfit to push away. To plant Riken people do not turn around throw off Regan so that he spun did not hit the bull's eye everyone was just stunned by this meme very developed. See here people went around Ivan well done city's top score now I will be sparring. On Irika Sensei, it will be possible to fight with the demon. Okay, Min moment on yours will be the very last. Thank you, Irika Sensei, and Nasa Kuram the winner, and on Kiboshina to win Peaks Nipples on hands. The winner Nipples. Okay, Mika Hinata, you see faces can charge mosquito he she. Came rang out and the hand of the people against not NMLNR got opposite men did not put. A seal as Socrates with demotivators about plays better, you fought as well. As you call meme it infuriated rushed to the peoples of the world then decided to play with him and began to mockingly dodge Blows on after minutes he got tired of it and he pulled off hit the sage with a fist and then with a knee on the ribs and ended and a kick in the chin that meant he flew on a meter drivers and fell unconscious state. Of the monastery on the basin make us Khazal hand and us cores and mother from the people of thousands of necks. After 3 years of graduation all became in return, sat in the office pins. Hand and here the class comes in and hand 3 more jonin and the chicken itself is a bunch of hello I said to the hands hello. Said the class began to carry its hello, the people did not listen to him when it was time to call the teams. Naruto began to listen attentively to the teams died 11 million cauldron sugar ergonomics of prices. Teacher, and a bunch of my Kosen teams number 10 Shikamaru Nara Ino Yamanaka Chojiki sword. Teacher stage and the team itself, World 7 Hinata Hyuga Kiba Inuzuka with Burum. And teachers not Tihi Chicken team version Sasuke Uchiha. Mikano Makozen Anesthesia Ocean teachers Kakashi Hitaki, everyone took their teams and in the office sat only team number 7 in an hour, came with NTS Ayusari 4. Being late just a black cat ran across the road had to go around here somehow we need to let's go up to the roof. Everyone went up to the roof there everyone sat down my name is Kakashi Hitaki and what I like and don't like is none of your business dreams goal I will not say now you he pointed for a moment my name is Mikanami Kitiya, I love the family. Of another person a look at Naruto, I don't like traitors and stop strong kunoichi, now we give. Said with whom I am Sasuke Uchiha, I love tomatoes of one person a look of the people. I do not like traitors and arrogant goal to kill this person I am Naruto Uzumaki. I like to train I like traitors arrogant upstarts, goal to revive your clan and tomorrow we are at the stimulus training ground according to the credits I advise you not to eat anything or you may vomit said poop creatures leave my advice pretty. Breakfast 8 do not eat, thank you by Naruto show Ashen bye bye. Next day and but it's easy all to do these, this option 8 got dressed. And went wearable training ground together with the walls on the artist's training ground to the enemy before. The arrival of Suskind world so he kind head of cabbage, they series began to talk. In 5 minutes appeared as Ashen, and so today your task is to take have and bells who can't take them. We'll open back to the academy on and only 2 this is because one of you will definitely go to Dima he. You have time until an hour, he if you don't have time good that walk and together. They began shouted Kakashi, and everyone quickly hid a moment and lay in the bushes nipples. We're on a tree like inner, this is the mayor, you guessed the purpose of creation decided to test his theory about created clones from. Mickey Keychain Sosuke Mecha with Ska quickly agreed to teamwork on told them his plan and they began to carry out the first on Kakashi attacked Sasuke using a fireball Kakashi returned from him he immediately caught a blow to the face, but he managed to use a replacement, he ended up on a tree branch on his mouth guessed where it seems like the USA and then with a quick movement tore off the bells, Kakashi did not even have time to notice the loss of the bells, and therefore continued sitting on a tree branch. I am here past him politics on and we drank to bow and fell on the ground like the sun and we have already lost, he said Sasuke holding a bell in his hands, as it was very surprised where she got the bell then looked hinting there was no bell like HSM and the purpose of this task was the commander as if I'm right Demir, you're right congratulations you almost my exam is not solved Pi who does not follow orders, garbage on who throws his friends about tens of times worse garbage tomorrow at 9. In the residence, bye bye maybe we'll go yesterday as we admit asked. And Mika, I agree with the class with whom I don't mind said people, they all went to Ichiraku together when they came in the evening when I was immediately upset because someone was sitting there piece 11 hello daughter did you pass, he asked Dakrishna hello mom yes, we passed thanks to the people and he understood then with and the task offered to work the team on few prices maybe and why are you so gloomy it's boring, she regretted that then she left the people it's none of your business demon, how dare you talk like that mother on this just released a little Kiku frames exactly that shut up past if you don't stop in the Caucasus in himself said the people with anger and contempt in his voice, all make the world this is power. Ordered 2 portions of the novel with pork let down a little man Sky began to eat everyone tried to see his face after the meal insisted money quickly became and left for whose fatal a whole month they carried out Messer NKD like to weed Got drunk, this is to catch a cat, looks like dogs, to watch over a child on muscles, rivers, and so on and so forth. How on these missions just read a book and people and sent would channels ability eternally magicians Klingon Naruto. Complete submission of the chase technique like how am I am this race Susanna. Dark green with an artifact its own energy transplanted hurried Gasu and really I socket sage back my right on. Our time is coming to an end. I have to tell you something about eternal cartoons, and when you get many. In 3, where will you get eternal many Hingen, because karma will expand the chakra channel in his eyes, explained so. That may be not to worry parts Potter all our time has come to an end acne people told them Ingram is cooler tea on holes. Sun and association by converter, we are proud of you and hope that you will bring measure, said Ashran, after which not the center disappeared of course while the Hokage's office on the Hokage's office is the Hokage, and to whom number 7 teams World 11 without Ensei today decided to give in. A month and the ring do you want us to, but well, except a drunk man of 45 years old came in cheap bottle of booze and let these children guard, yes, how dare you old man I. Future, and how can I honestly san get excited attached 2 best teams of Genin especially. Since you are Messer and GC Maxim, then robbers will attack you said exactly that okay in 2 hours calls said. The old man went out on this mission, the leader will be Naruto everything is free, he said minutes and why is this topic Nania thank you. Because you are not ready to be a leader yet and now go and don't bother me working everyone left the office and went to collect things in 2 hours everyone stood at the gate they moved out and after 2 hours of travel. Minutes on the road saw squeezed felt nothing except when they passed behind the same jumped out to throw on and tore on this in half all the genin just stood in shock from on noticing this. Flower and pounced on them but then Naruto appeared in front of him not one hit flexible and friend mask but I cut. With a sip menopause dead everyone was even more step she decided to interrogate the survivor's nominee for this. Tied him to a tree and when the foot swayed Myrtle ask him a question who hired you and I will not tell you anything. Where my brother asked cousin if you do not answer my question who are you? Will go to him what now my brother how dare you asked body on. This deal on and here well tell him a lot who hired you said Narcissus activate. Sharingan insisted that we buy a payer it is clear said Naruto. After which we cut it smoothly and everyone was surprised by his cruelty on kept silent. We need Sun this mission minimum rank B and maybe even and who knows what awaits us next long ago told about the 5th bridge raise your hand who wants to continue the mission hands. Losses Situ on horns and Sakura it is clear yes it means we continue the mission. Well, and I will ask for reinforcements in the form of our SNCF. The mayor wrote a note called until he gave him a note and said to find everyone the ocean they continued their way swam across on a boat and then this for literally 2 hours remained for this Krakova in life all the fields. A mere stage village behind him then the sign literally 2 hours remained for then. Shouted lie down and a huge sword flew over their heads and in this from a tree onto the sword a man with a bandaged face with screws and camouflage fell between us he is the most for the most then. One of the 7 swordsmen of the fog even knows me hemp kids I'm flattered everyone stand and crap this is for the camp not to interfere with the order of the people. Over this not a carpenter I'll leave you alive and you try to win you. Overestimate yourself baby right now and we'll check the west is filled with the genus to meet what was his surprise. When the baby blocked his blow, and even counterattacked him remember at this rate he will lose decided to check the boy's conditioner she mouth understood that Zabu will want times in kinder and build a special Tonto. Chukri wind boffin came down on equal terms. Tired of these dances, and began to quickly finish this quickly began to say seals. Kitten in the form of a ball and back at for flew a fireball 5 meters I'll forget returned. But one immediately flew into it and a dragon from them there one down managed to return did not get under the equipment and vodkina into a tree and then his neck flew to Sanbona thank you that we could I catch him I'm not chasing him for a long time he said Bugaro this came up checked benefit said please on Booker and took Zabuza you are looking for and not on this went to my ion after a few steps he fell without strength. After the world from about dad consciousness of water at home who for her likely very surprised his series because he fell. Unconscious people left the room and went down. There sat Kakashi, lush teams number 7 and 11 years old. This is how, yes, as usual. This is how I was able to win for the review, asked Leather. I defeated him, but he is still alive. This took, think, you saw what we take him, this Fox Bonham, and you can't drink the name on the heart nose easily, especially since he was supposed to deal with the body on the spot they drag thereon. To myself, they have a damn my brushes ways from afar, said Menma. If you do not paint your mouth tongue, and I will shove it to you. You know where everything swallowed here went down. On hands approached Crash and whispered something on the fly, each time printed a sheet and a pen. This is a hand drug addict to draw something. When finished, this first showed the jackpot, and do not give it to him like Asha, and since you understand this, said Jug. Showed 100 people on it, was an exact copy of the tattoo of the people. Now it is too late, no need to circle again. Where did you get a tattoo of a personal squad? He for 3 says of this, you call, you will understand on if someone besides you finds out that you are, yes, I will kill you all, said Naruto. I begin to release the wheels. Everyone who was in the kitchen saying if someone needs me somewhere, then I am in the room, said people, and went into the room. 6 days later on the bridge stood team number 11, Mika Nipples Kushina, like the USA, and opposite it was not worth it. Man masks NBU carry on, not Zabuza, nor it was at home. I kept there tes I heard the cry of my sons on import the dinner, and went down to the pan, saw 2 bandits, and quickly killing them ran to the bridge. People if what conducted chains canvas ran to the garbage, and 5 minutes later I saw such a picture cushion, and what a neck loses, forget about, and Sasuke is exactly in the ice dome. People decided to first help Nipples Mimi. He quickly ran into the dome and began to lower his body chakra forests, and from this mirror, the generators exploded in a coma to shine in the falling Gyashin beat. Not a quick horizontal blow, then the interview him head, then at high speed about to say a seal, and in his hand lightning sparkled, and all over the singing of 1,000 birds was heard. People activate Ungan, and at high speed ran for the belly, and literally in a moment, in the chest loaded was hands of the family on that Namaz, comes year hundreds of bandits. For you could not even cope with the kids, but here he himself came and said, Narada glad it became a hand from the chest Zabuza, and his body fell dead. Murthy's Terashin done, after which used the casserole himself and began to kill bandits of the year literally in 20 seconds, and hundreds of bandits remained. Only we prepare people these activated the chains, and having got their tourism, your people son these things from one moment on the concrete floor lay a decapitated body. Ready Inverto sealed his head, did not open. Teams all watering, shocked by his strength and cruelty. The mayor then approached to said, together, we finished, he now can move to Konoha 4. Yen, I don't want this at that, call the bridge. Well, let's go to the great Mufti himself, okay. Agree, I know this. The next day, and move Konoha. They came in 8 hours, and with their teams went to hand over. Hokage reports on Hokage office were exactly like that. She is nothing like Mission Flame. Morina, our opponent, was one of the 7 swordsmen of the fog, for tortured, said how the US to the left, and he was beaten by people, and we could not oppose anything for the belly. She rummaged, killed him on the technician, and said Kushina, but how he is only hygiene, he is already strong. We are changing already to you, as I myself said to Porridge, okay, you are free, and from the offices. And what shooter like Akasha Kupno decided to stay and talk with her husband a minute, and it's time for us to tell everyone to Milan, only by sight you will not become. We need beloved. I went windows on training ground number 7, and Narita Nipples Mika were waiting. How is this training? When Kakashi appeared on guard, said, today, we will not have training. A new one you have for the exam for the title of Tayunin. He said, excellent. Ask Ian how a Shotoyu forms, and said that they should come the day after tomorrow to the 33rd audience in the academy, after which he still Shinjinya, nor this is Mecha and Sasuke were walking through the village, and here they saw on the hand running Law's lobster, and they sat down around the corner on Black Vein, and they got off the creeks of the side where they ran on hands and Konohamaru Nipples moment, and ran internal no wind Konohamaru raised by the ball in some kind of prank on and hovering Black suit similar to Cat's next to him stood a pretty girl with 3 more bunches of hair. We don't believe with his back, quickly, let him go said on hands, and what if I don't let go the guy asked and with a show jumping, let him go, we don't need a problem they said the girl, the solution of our children said can chickens, this quality hand on his hand and heard thousands of birds let go of Kanoamaru, and then I may not kill you conquer quickly let go pray language and said calm down and he let him go well done said to the world you have developed the technique the guy can't go out on this tree. The red-haired guy came out writing, question, how did you know? Well, firstly, I'm not a bad censor. Secondly, I'm the same as and you, I somehow not so and also as Jaeger asked. Competition and girl I 2 women hand corr and what upper to with image and people will be attached and 2 fingers to forehead harem and about them and about subconsciousness. Subconsciousness, he saw big rusty gates, pig seal, he forgot something. Human well hello step account, but I came to you to conclude contracts, and that you trifle in the car. To offer you to make friends with grief and I will put normally seal of theirs, and consent. To unstated that what first you make friends with gonorrhea, and put replacement I will fulfill my part of the contract. Only 10 yes, I after that what is but here is the number from the subconscious in the real world. Mountains now you can make friends with image, thank you as his name himself he has. Ask again, thank you, specifically, see let's go Kankuro Tamara Igor left. Leaving the Team World seminar about fabrics, but it quickly disappeared and did not appear until stage 1 day for the first time Tapaya on this appeared near to winter and walked to my team let them go inside and going up to the 2nd floor and did not see the audience with number 303 on inside. You think but you 33 audiences said Mika, this is genjutsu, here did not approach the guy. And green tight-fitting uniform and thick eyebrows nipples Chan, let's date, I will always protect you said that guy, and no well, why do I already have a boyfriend whom I love forgive said Sasuke well, okay, my name is Ruck whether he at the same time get acquainted with the Kazakh camera there. My name is Mika as the end of me anesthesia, okay, I ran while shouted. People's casas, who while then, they passed in 303 ants tour, going into Ningyan, you do not. Fight began to direct Kiev, but after the movie Mouth, and it was insignificant, the team Mir Sim found their comrades, and approached them in about 20 minutes, a tall man in a black coat and with many scars on his face came in everyone was silent, when everyone shut up, he continued my name is Marina and by Keem. I am the examiner of the first stage, now you will be given sheets of paper with a number where you should be and sit at the desk under the number. From the sheet opened and the network your places, and the night lamp their replacement when the omnipotent your places and the pike said to excite there are questions 9 in the letters 1 oral his of. This 10 minutes before the end of the exam if I see your attempt to cheat you will be excluded from the exam started by class by then, it is clear that most do not know anything the people's deputy is smart enough and start to answer questions, quickly enough pacifiers chapel his action summit cars to us, when Nerda wrote. Kudzil classes I see that on hands, K exactly panics, and do not know what to write the mayor then decided to help them he printed out 3 sheets of paper quickly wrote them the answers, and with the help of the service on put the sheets of paper next to them, they realized that they were helping and decided to take advantage of this, they quickly copied off the answers Naruto did not take noticing this, and also the poster with the help of Hirikami, for the right leaflets, and sealed them back for here we are until the end of the exam and Becky said Seema fold from the point now when everything is ready and over 10 question and commit to answer it and answer incorrectly, then you will never be able to with touch and not us, but if you decide not to pass, you will be able to pass the exam next time in the audience, someone came to me said, and if there are those who know the exam for the first time then you are unlucky this time I set the rules at the end of the first stage and only 18 teams remained and Pike said everyone who remained you passed all Jennings calmly in or 2 and then a girl in a long brown coat and short shorts flew in the window and Becky, she tried well my name is on cam. Find the examiner of the second stage of the Chunin exam everyone on the 44th polygon. We are making money. Everyone went out, followed her. 44th polygon. This is 44th polygon differently, is it? Death in this forest. You should be afraid of everything, because here insects and animals mutants can tasks at this stage take away, and so the sky and earth of the other team. She showed these scrolls, and each team will be given one of these scrolls. Before you were given a scroll, you must be and sign the papers, and about the fact that Konoha is responsible for your lives in this chamber, you sign the papers. They will receive her, so after you take the opposite scroll, you must come to the tower in the center of the forest. 4. Everything about everything. You have 4 days. After everyone signed, they dispersed to the necessary gates. After the turn signal opened, and the genin ran at the team of people. After so did not take to whom number 7 ran forward, and after about 400 meters stopped because the people and felt the team nearby, and the team world family went with him. When they arrived at the place, did not see the team from Kirian. The battle ended, did not even have time to start the people themselves, but it just seemed, and not behind their backs, did not farm them. They had a holy land for them. The people decided that they needed to finish the red cap as quickly as possible, and they went to the arable land, but when they had a dream of kilometers left to attack the pork in Konoha, this snake Sannin Orochimaru, with whom do you want to get the power to kill your brother? And I can offer myself. I do not need me the power of such a vile person like you, I said Sasuke, and that means I will have to use force. Orochimaru, you will not be able to take him, said the people, and why didn't I allow myself? Or what will you do to me? Norton at maximum speed cut off his hand with they, but did not run into the city. This flew him a great anger of the ball of Sannin returned from the ball, and the battle began to meet the world. This is Yesunin fought on equal terms, but won from the moments the people bounced off. Sannin did not use the technique, which the fire dragon Sannin dodged, but all for this technique, and in April, the trees did not age to pump out of it chakra we have. I was not confused, and his body turned into a bunch of snakes. Orochimaru, I sing from the back of the people, did not bite him, went to this plan, me from a terrible storm, and I liked you the people con, and if you like the power and come to me, it was said, and on after which the people disappeared. Lost consciousness. Mecha, and Sasuke ran up to him. Nipples android, let's stop for now on. Such externally father, let's agree with whom. They found a place under the roots of trees, and decided to stop their girls. Prepared a trap for Sochi-san, submits in 6 hours. Simple senorita saw that girls fight with hyenas, and sound, and they especially cope with them. Still cancer lies around the hook of the people. Quickly coped with them to meet, because when he wanted to use a person it became painful for him. Genins, and sound begging for mercy. Address and saints of the land came out. I over this seeds, betrayed 8 pairs of eyes. Then from the bushes and trees in the forest, team number 10, number 11, not some guy from girl and you are strong era, there coped with them using only backing away. He said Shikamaru nerd, these very strong ones, shouted Ino and Sakura in there. Then asked he, looking at the guy girl's head in the night angel, we and Ray team number 3 M said to the girls, then you are ours on a slingshot. Do you look at us? Everything is so earth your account. Sky told him Naren, hold on in the warehouse we people, and extended his hand with a flower. Earth on got rich, and so thank you please. I think we are 7 about development. There is everything according to nodded, hidden behind the trees. People and his team boil the tower to you. The tower people open discounts, and from them appeared as a shim. Congratulations on passing the second stage in principle. This is what I expected from you. Thank you as PSNC, and I have a small problem, not what the same as we will be in the forest of death. Met with one of they are on contact. Anakin Orochimaru, he constantly place seal. Now we will use chakra and maritime, we will quickly cope. 4th, he no, I will not go to him. Monster cartoon old man Uzumaki on in first. Touch me not with the help of brick teleported us to their house, and I will most likely pass out after that. Kakashi touched Naruto, and they 4 aces 2-story house on this, as he said, passed out as expected him in his arms and took home there. Everything explained to the old men, and they began to remove the seal of Archie Marov, while Kakashi wanted the 4th was explained. What happened the next day? People woke up, and we told that the seals to shoot for the next 5 days. The baby is not a pulse for chakra, otherwise they can be bad consequences. Nardi went home as USA, and asked him To move this tower with the help of Shashin in a couple of moments. People with Kakashi were almost next to some room, and this is your room. Thank you like the sun and let's rest, by Naruto on. A date Narita, how many times I asked on TV, okay, by like HR by number then went into the room eats him on the neck to lead two girls even so he sight said, and Mika, we were so worried about you said. Sasuke, I'm also glad to see you, how are you normal with you much better. Supporting, I also missed you nipples Mika, even stronger line of this. Biotech, let go, not that put out and the girls let go of the people so not yet. Communicated this day when they were all called a large hall of mice, looks like Reno when everyone gathered. And the Hokage began his speech about the fact that this is an exam, this is something like a mini-war since there are too many of you left, we decided to hold an additional fight, your couple will be displayed on this screen, and as I did not look at the sides of the screen after which the name of the couple will go out. To fight in your essence, they will be the same ninja, some kind of he will explain to you all the rules. Marina came out a man higher, she has a guard. For children after all some painful on the screen at the light or a seminar Sasuke Uchiha against while to heroes in the arena. The above mentioned you can give but it is undesirable to use. You can all said Gecko to everyone else go up after. Everyone Rose Keika said are you ready seeing deuces and can continued the fight Sasuke immediately activated the Sharingan. And pounced on the opponents traditionally but after a few blows but felt that I check Rappa's blows disappears she. Decided to attack months she jumped away from them, jumps, released a fireball measuring 2 by 2 meters, the hero got under. Attack was before he is the winner Sasuke Uchiha having stolen, will fall between them and Monaco. And sugar said Keika wipes as she is not I nothing nobody passes and consider. Sochi fight between Shikamaru Nara, it's a chicken shack Cupid 1 due to the intellect of the winner Nara Shikamaru, next fight dog, Nakara against Mai. Rain Surgeon BKK on her abode dog on competitor with chips dose, and throw that. Against addicts, swords Micah, in canon winner, to Tsukinu, then I will steal fight remember, for whom against Sheena bars fight as. She not only in law were broken hands, and the winner of the bureau member mass to what? Exactly is hinted against Yakshur Capitan, I give up said someone winner Herman. Mycosis as Tarui participant would have given up with chips, their Takahashi against our games, I do not give up said 10-10 convincing same pike, so the second participant set off next fight hand against. Dog on my mountain came as she not only mountains not broke arm and leg am I. The winner dog, Nagara 100 chips Hinata Hyuga opponents Nami Kazan Bloken, this is the same character as exactly. Cinema then with the help of Soft Pollock was able to defeat Mikao, I wanted to figure out how the front ones appear as a 60 and their mountain. Winner Hinata Heaven behind the cheek dog on Tamara against on Rock Namikaze. Convincingly Cancer with the help of racing on convincingly economy from the post chip's belly. From between Kiba Inuzuka and Naruto Uzumaki, his all jump on Reno, he she it slowly. Went down the stairs, sofa come on move, said the dog owner meanwhile. In the stands stood Chicken, and she herself no longer, traffic police, how look. What kind of smear and student, I said chicken you marks are not funny for. This do not use creativity in beer, so that the totters not a single time him the red said Kakashi, everyone began. To watch attentively what was happening in the arena of combustion, but it is not in a hurry became opposite key BMW ready asked Gekka yes said Kibum. I am ready, said people started what are you ready to lose demon, and maybe later. Fight in the world so much with you will end Tamash, like this is very strong sleep power, NASA mosquito understood wall of people this. To do in Russian form began to dodge blows kid and even more enraged, and he decided to use the cycle multi-tool. Tablet and mosquito he is not the same as Yuo Kamura turned red then jumped on Kibo, and he used the technique of imitation. Of the beast Akamaru turned into heat and they used to cycle, attacked the people numbers then easily dodged these techniques. And when they stopped it is necessary first to behind Komarov and I give him a Nokia in the head and what as he passed out then appeared in front of Kiba and prepared his skull cap and face then rock on the ribs and finished. The kick yesterday, there is after which like collapsed to the ground and you on a stretcher carry away medics winner outfit Uzumaki Sadako. Sex 1 Congratulations, you came to the third. This is passing stuffed, which will take place in a month in the main arena of Konoha. You have time to prepare for it. Now come up and get from this box a piece of paper with a number. All the genin came up in turn, got a piece of paper and stood where you were standing. Now voice your numbers. 5 said Min, Ma, Sha, mosquitoes. 2 peoples. 3 D. G2 mountain. 4 Hinata. 3 nipples. 1 corp. 1 mercs. 5 dozes. 6 tire. 4 pure floats up to pass between Sasuke Uchiha from Abakan competition 2 between Niji Hyuga and Shikamaru Nara. 3rd Hinata Hyuga entered Uzumaki 4 Shinobu frame dog on mountain. 5 world to navigation against Milman mycosis, but Throne will fight with Peter. 5 battles after midterm exam on this 3 days trained only physical. On the 4th day he began training now edge. After 14 days he decided to go to hot springs, and when he approached each place he saw a gray-haired man from 50. He recognized in him one great Trinity, namely the same area on Toad with Thais to the belt. While people decided to approach him and say hello, not to take and that autograph because his books really liked what kind of senpai. Hello, hi Sarah pervert, said people do not interfere, collect materials. In short, old man, I need your photographer, come on quickly. Signed to Hitaki Kakashi. Okay. Not even Kakashi, why she you, and who is he for you? Well, I am a student. Turn out he soldered, and they really like your books, but I like your book called Swim with Not Applying. What is your name? Maria. As the main character of your first book, this means Jess, and you can get me several techniques, but I don't even know, although you know. Let's when we start. Narita. Show me your strongest technique. People decided to show 4, so as not to tell all the cards at once. He died. This is to plant seals around his hand. Lightning formed. I can teach you techniques. 4 said Sanan. Game balls. A clod of titmouse Rio in the form of a ball. He went to a tree and hit it in the center. The tree left a spiral dent. He is not against it already. Such a strong technique, and said Naruto. To learn this technique you need to go through 3 stages. The first rotation, 2 strength shake holding 4. The first stage you need a single ball up to 2 rubber ball for 3 air balloon. Now we will grab by them and then start training, and in 2 hours at the 10th training ground in the style of 2 people. And Jiraiya Naruto went through the second stage. Jira noted that people are geniuses. No worse than NATO in 10 minutes, need sensei. I went to stage 3. Look. People, and now you have to convey the stability of racing, but T70 him first. Yours is Pavel. Understood the world. This started to perform stage 3, the first 2 attempts were unsuccessful. S3, he managed to hold Rasengan for 4 seconds. On the 8th attempt, he created the perfect Rasengan Gara. This Bolashak, he himself studied this technique for 3 months, and then some guy don't you want didn't study. A couple of hours before someone told you something. Geniuses too many people. Okay poker, this I'll go collect further material, goodbye. Jerry Sensei Berta was calculated. Why a new technique of oring. People decided to take a walk in the park and met there. Blue as I passions and myself, of course. Son, hello my head of cabbage. Nora head of cabbage passed. The last he called fusion accepted. Attacked, they said on hands to hello. People they said Minato and Kushina. Hello demon ready to jump at the 3rd stage. He said past, I'm afraid to upset you, but most likely you won't reach the final. You're this miss father, so on goodbye. Said Naruto, after which he went home. A couple of days later, Mary Jo Ray Pion. The 10th polygon. AJ's 1 what technique you cannot teach probably. If you want I can teach myself the technique of calls. I can offer her to sign control in addition, or do you want to go to the world of free calling, but knows there is very dangerous. Not I will send a free call. Show the seals. He even showed the seals of the technique of reverse calling. People connected in the forest, lived need a seal, and hit the ground with his hand. After which he disappeared in a cloud. He turned out to be some kind of people caves passing by for a few minutes, and came across a giant spider 5 meters. Little man, what are you doing? Asked the spider. Not use the technique back we call without a signed contract, and ended up here. As I understood you are my call. Tell me yours. My name is the so-called now, I need to shake you queen of spiders. My name is Uzumaki. Naruto video. They went through the tunnels in 5 minutes. They reached the right place. There in the center, there was a huge path H1 with meters like A catapult, it was the queen of spiders, your people my name is Virtu for make. My name is Erdem queen of spiders, and Tanner, you will get only 2M who will become our summoners, and who was the first Korsatsuki, and I understand, nor it made me a little sad. Okay, people, and now sign us a contract. She took with one paw a contract from the corner of the room. Put it before the start. He opened it and saw that there really was only one name. You have to bite off your finger until it bleeds. Write with your blood and leave an imprint of all your fingers. He did as she said. Berta took the contracts. She said, now use the ethnicity of the reverse summoning. These will turn out to be Miriam himself, then using the technique I summon this, then the paths will appear your personal. We develop the mayor. This folded the seals of the reverse summoning and found himself in the same place where he stood before he disappeared. And what do you need? What kind of call now? You will see for yourself. He tasted his finger, then roll up the seals, and in the end he hit the ground. I will. You around his palm symbols parted and completely clouds. When the clouds began to read it became visible, a huge spider 9 meters and people she is jump on this put into this call 147 chakra Jiraiya. Was just all sorts. Hello dead myself, my name is Guilt, not, and your personal call, and twin TT Latander, I can go to. You can well he is still 100 managers myself, thanks for the technicians and I. Went goodbye camera, then said George Ocean Day 3 stages. A huge number of people gathered at the treasure at the Konoha Stadium in order to look at the big bio and insisted. In the center alley, skis, okay, these sat myself X as I to Kogen Reikage Cars Ocean. What in my head edges, I am glad to greet all the power at the last stage mutually member today. We'll fight better Jenin this year. I want to wish you good luck and success on, and now the judge will announce the wigs of the battle and explain the rules, and so the rules are the same as in the midterm exam now. On the field must remain Sasuke Uchiha dog on the competitor, the rest go up to the balcony waiting. When in the arena there were only Nipples and Kankuro, the judge asked, are you ready? Seeing nods of themselves sides, he gave the go-ahead. Would have started the competition once printed dolls Phyllis Ashen Shengen was activated on. She began to dodge at the same time. Throw Siri Jeans guy Konkura began to dodge them on a couple at all times. We do, and for a few seconds lost control on the puppet, and Sasuke decided to take advantage of this, and at high speed rushed to him, and when there were a few meters left there was a pair of poisoned Sambarov on her back. It did not stop and she hit him with an strong chakra and hands in the jaw. Kankura answered the walls of the arena and left there many cracks on the winner Uchiha Sasuke. He and Kankuro Saskia ran and doctors to her not in calories antidotes and is down and on a stretcher. The next was in Shikamaru Nara against our South lousy go down. When I find and Shikamaru became a tube against another examiner said about the fight. Step Amarna then to attack and them, she only him to grow from them. After some time on Joe realized that his shadows have a certain radius, and went away as just further to think over 2000 actions. Shikamaru began like a little tension, and after a few minutes, he managed to catch on the same in the shadows. I give up because I have little left. Crane, I will not be able to fight with luck in battles, said she came round winner knives. South in the stands began go discontent fistulous Hinata Hugo against Naruto Uzumaki. They went down to the arena and Hinata asked the demon question, are you ready to lose one? My opponent so already set on, and where is he now? Not comparable with this morning. I am much stronger, less words, more deeds than battles. Senator Therapy Cocoon, after which attacked Naruto, but all Kostia began to turn around you blows and hit in response. After some time he got tired of it and he used the technique of raid on 4. We will write she was electrocuted and she was dedicated. He came up to me and said you are exactly the same as me, only strongly in words. Sing in garbage. Hinata, this really enraged me. I started yelling that he should die, that on you clan and the like amused people. Uzumaki next fight dog on Grashino will wash buddy. She silently went down to the arena and began to sing mountains easily destroyed Shukshin with his sand. So when they came out on 160% of beetles he gave up. Next fight past us ends against Chop Uzumaki and they went down to the arena. Those rolled a wave and the fight began on. Mion was outside because his Beloved girl was humiliated by Theremin, so he didn't even notice how he began to beat his sister and when he was going to wear the final blow and in front of him the pluses of Naruto, and stop the blow, don't do that, after which lose the sketch demon and outside you. In front of those luck only you first have to reach the final, don't be afraid I win from garbage, the world then nothing answered this, and just with the help of Shurshin, found himself in the stands, so. The next fight Menma hints for against Tozukin at then I ask you to go down to the field, but began to attack Tucson. I will win you trash then not what demon you, and win me yes do not make. People laugh and I will smash you to me began to throw the board on the name of some seals. Krishna, the opponent began to turn around but when he dodged the next one exactly. Another flash and found himself behind his back and hit Racing S. Das a pin to the ground and he lost consciousness, the winner men in KCS drag fights Uchiha Sasuke against knives, and you went down to the arena were called was and Sasuke activated Sharingan. There Byakugan would begin to meet in which no one could win after some time he got tired of it technique soft Gallic 64 touches to touch 4-8 and 1632-64. Now could not return from half of the blows therefore was defeated the winner knives at GM the next from Abakan speaking. Against Naruto Uzumaki come on Jinchuriki went down on bullets, did not nod the judge fights much caught. Attacking them with sand at very high speed to the speed of the turn of his sand was still 3 square people at high speed. Approached the opponent and tried to hit but his blow was reflected by the sand defense and people bounced off him and at high speed began to fold the seals of cotton one and the dragon and turned Naruto and towards the sandstone flew 8-meter dragon mountain, covered himself squeaked to you at least the technique and was stopped wrote. Turned Steklova, then the outfit began to fold the seals again pull out the sleeves on now flew over the same water dragon and again covered himself with sand this time I wrote became several times we lose on this and at high speed increased the structure of the sandstone and with a punch yesterday, there is threw it up then in flight with. The same this I will throw it even higher and then articles on the back and they both began to give never to the ground became 7 tr on the highway with a turn kicked his stomach and from this town studied. Doctors came running carried away the mountains on a stretcher and Naruto climbed onto the balcony and the winner the layout of the next fight Menma anesthesia against. Our south on the field came out named and began happens, Min Frost's crowd field came no es seal she did not begin to teleport from one to another even it was very difficult to fight and after a few minutes of such beatings lost winners in Cauldron now there will be a break for half an hour then. 2 finalists will come out on the field to fight each other after half an hour on the field came out Mini Rhoda on the state of Maine and it's time to humiliate. You said mine stop bear and I can ask you something on what not. About games too quickly, said Naruto with a sneer and met Tom this infuriated but did not show it he fights. Menma immediately began throwing a link to her on the back on Ti5 kunai as he flies Turpa. Ribs then on the breath after on the face, me not these, and the other end Irina, I remember you wanted to humiliate me, but I waited precisely out of anger Rasengan in hand, did not ask for it, but it very quickly began to fold the seals shouted ritual. Fourth and flew exactly their techniques collided and in the center of the arena, there was a large crater lying past him. Standing untouched Naruto, and then an explosion thundered DP put in as I as myself this year. Enough roof Jenin said Reika Jean you are not quite right, we do not have so many of them, team only 1-7. Team 2 Hokage-sama act you for the boys who should fight with your walls and asked. Jean, this is the outfit of Uzumaki absolute line according to my information to own 750 in chemistry. Start Kakashi Hitaki and on missions of rank 1, not 36 decimeters personally killed one of the 7. Swordsman of the fog on the smell of urine on, quite interesting small who his parents. Asked how the ocean he certain you began said Sochi, what the end of the battle their techniques. Collided with the center of the arena was a large crater in which lay past next to him stood untouched Naruto, and then an explosion thundered Chonin and immediately began to save civilians on Janino to fight shinobi stones and clouds lay down the Hokage also. The battle began and what kind of Cossacks against the Raikage? The gene of the people circled about 15. Shinagawa moisture and 7 stones for Nagasha, I said Naruto. Everyone who surrounded him was immobilized. He took out his from the antenna, at high speed killed them all, then ran too. Like me, he arrived right at the moment when he Hokage was opened back to them, and we tried to deliver a fatal blow, and you outfit managed to cut off the hand with a rail, and with the help of the knower, then he very high speed say seals, which windows and dragon rivers managed to return to. He was left without a leg, fell to the ground, and this came up to him. This is a squirrel too. Then began to help the Cossack Ocean. He went to the side, held on face gecko for what, in a few seconds he was in place. There you will find that order what lies on the ground, and above him a couple of points. A giant does not prepare his technique, and on the rhythm at high speed plated Sachiko. Giant did not cut off his head. Thank you people, and I think already a corpse to order as I please. Then people ran sides huge do hast and cats in the center of the village, when he was already close at him on the way to 340. Shinobi clouds. I did not deal with them in a few seconds, and moved on here. In front of him stands this giant. He activated the eternal magician Shingen, looked into her eyes, do not use the eye technique, complete submission, then ordered to turn back his dinner cherry, whom she obediently obeyed, and here in front of him stands a beautiful blonde. Spell seal removed submission. She fell unconscious. People took in hospital and then ran to help repel attacks. By the end of the day, on the territory of Konoha, there was not a single living shinobi made of stone or clouds. In the evening of the same day, there was a funeral for the shinobi of Konoha, who gave their lives to defend the village. The next division of the cabins was quiet. What where the Hokage was raised, Mika Narco passed Shikamaru, there without a mask, and the third Hokage, am I. To me Masha Kamarova, congratulations on the cracks. Here are more vests and documents. Shikamaru you can, and the rest, said minutes indicated to the number that is for him. Said Narum did not leave the office. And what do you want to talk to me, and why is your family here, asked the people, and here the same. Could you leave us? Sorry Minato, but I can't say Urza. Well okay pressed. You know what happened on October 10th, seeing a nod, he continued, so, and you know not everything. If in short you are with our child Chakra, Minato, and Kushina, and Naruto will be the ocean. I also. Up to this moment, such a cyclamen is just trash, and you are not worthy of the path. Hack I am this. I hate. Narita burst into hysterical laughter. This is so, it can't be, this topic can't be. We are a wire like the world. These knew about it all the time. Why didn't you tell me this then? Said on the horns, bursting into tears. I've known about this for 6 years. Moscow, because she would never love you as sisters and son. You will return family, asked Kashona to return family before me. I was never the only lady I trust in the village. There are only 3 left. There's the most with the sketch, and as well as the stamp, and forgive, I said he, after which he left the office in the morning. This woke up and saw himself on Mikwa's chest head. He decided not to disturb her sleep, not just lay until she woke up. Good morning. Good, I'm going to the shower. Okay, he answered, getting out of bed. About half an hour later, Mika came out of the bathroom. And people came in there, and after a while he was ready. They went downstairs, and sat down at the table and started breakfast. It's time for breakfast. They talked about different things. Container, this, I'll wash the dishes. Decided to take me somewhere. Man, you saw off. Okay, they nominated the Hokage at home. But these who he reminded about moving and on went home, and he was given 18th polygon on the 17th lodging. But this is a matter of warming up as others approached. And Ryan, hello people, hello fat, and with yours to train me or on business before, and immediately, business. I'm leaving on a 3-year journey. I would like to offer her to go with me. I don't agree, but before that we're this task to return to TSN2 the village when we move out in 2 hours. In the office X, as I understood, answered Naruto. This time, and first to the Hokage's house on there, but without not Mickey food on hand that finds from the village for 3 years. Then he went home to pack his things to tell about the hike pacifiers and guitar. When everything was done, he decided to rest. When there was 1 minute left, he found himself, with the help of Solved, in the Hokage's office. On the office, there were 3 exactly there. And so the world, this is your first mission as Chin to the ring, return delivery to home. Understood. How many of us mission completion times a week after the mission As I understood you, and the teacher will go on a journey so exactly we can move, then you can luck like me goodbye her for. Herself Minato was very upset that his son does not respect and does not pay attention to him Jira and the people, but the whole way through 4 days they were able to find the village in which they wanted a bike. Losers Anna, they found her in one of the bars and losses nigh for the word Katova I. Asked the price, DM do not know your teammates Jiraiya, or what exactly is she, and what kind of little one is this? No reason I need this, my student genius no less than. Minato Yu Hokage calls to chorus sensei, I ask you not to say his name and not to compare me with this cheese. How can you talk like that about a wonderful shinobi? There is no visible person, so you know him well. What if something bad XX? So you apparently do not regret October 10th. When Yu Hokage his wives were supposed to be born, to Minato, deceived everyone death and the firstborn on you. How do you know about this? Because I am there first. The price itself is up to the floor in shock like Jiraiya, because they heard about it for the first time. Yes, it can't be like that. How can it be their child? But I hate when someone talks about it, so you will have to change your opinion about him. Well, let's say a taxi for tomorrow, we are moving villages, and this is great, said the people, and became God until tomorrow. Let's go, SJ-san, and while the price, yes, I said goodbye Jiraiya, after which they did not leave them the next morning, did not meet with this same couple and returned to the legs, and in 2 days they reached back from not heal the Hokage, and went on a 3-year journey. The end to story.